Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. We made it. I got to tell you, since I brought my camera home, which I didn't end up using when I brought my camera home for Thanksgiving, but since resetting it up, I'm at a different angle now, and it's always throwing me. But enough of that. Who do we got? Yeah, redemption. We got the common man. Happy birthday to Giannis and Sabrina Ionescu. It's Giannis' birthday narrative tonight. Snoopaloop, happy National St. Nicholas Day. All right, enjoy the sales meeting, Snoop. We got Sneeps in the chat. We got Stubbs here fresh off of 50. The regulators here. Everybody's here. What's going on? Hope you guys had a nice little week. We've got a busy one today. The NBA bit, of course. We'll have the Daily Show a little bit later today for our VIP members. And then we've got live before lock and live after dark. That'll be at 5 p.m., followed by live after dark at 7 p.m. We got Celtics Bucks tonight. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Speaking of SORARE, and I guess we'll talk about it a little bit at the end of the show too, but they've got a fun little promo going on today where if you buy a limited card off of like Instant Buy or auction, I believe, you have a shot at like winning a free card. And I won a Hartenstein this morning. So bravo to me, huh? Dubs everywhere. I think that's it, though. I think that's it for business stuff. Today we got, let's just get into it. Let's get into the excitement of the day, shall we? As I switch the formatting of the video here. Oh, actually, I do have one more thing. Later today, over on the Raptors Republic YouTube channel or podcast, depending on wherever you go. I jumped on the Buckets and Tea podcast with Catherine Naker, and we were talking about a little bit of everything. So that should be dropping a little bit later today. Go check that out. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the hoopy hoops. Cleveland, baby. Shout out Stubbs, huh? Shout out Stubbs for his 50th birthday. Cleveland's like, we're only going to lose once a month. They've been incredible, man. Cleveland has been just absolutely rolling. They played the Denver Nuggets last night, and they were very impressive, man. They just continue to go out there and win a ton of games, even though Jokic is putting up insane numbers night in and night out, right? But let's share screen. Let's look at some box score actions from last night. So the Cavs ended up winning this one 126-114. I tell you, though, like even though it was a 12-point game, never really felt close. Cleveland got out to a 10-point lead in the first quarter. Yes, it was a 4-point lead at halftime, but it's still, they just kind of felt in charge this whole time. And, man, Cleveland's been so interesting. They just have so many different ways to beat you. Okoro got hurt in this game, which is a little bit of a bummer. But look at this, man. Mobley was plus 13 in his 32 minutes. He had 20 and 9, also added 3 steals to that. Yeah, Jared Allen, who put up 15 freaking boards for the JA. JA's been kind of interesting, too. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but Cleveland's messed with their rotations a little bit. And Allen hasn't always been closing these games, which I think is something to pay attention to as we get closer to the playoff run, where everyone's like, I don't think you're going to be able to play Mobley and Allen down like crunch time together. And it seems like Kenny Atkinson is messing around with that a little bit. I mean, Allen still was solid last night. And then you get Garland going for 24 and Mitchell for 28, the backcourt combining for 52 points. And then Karis LeVert, just like a classic 21-point game off the bench for him. But just like another impressive win for Cleveland. Denver, by the way, I mean, just look at this stuff, dude. Denver, Nikola Jokic, 13 for 26 from the field, 27 points, 20 rebounds, 11 assists, 3 steals. The dude is insane. I saw Jason Gallagher, who formerly of The Ringer. He also produced the JJ Redick stuff, right? He tweeted out, like, remember when Luka had that stretch of 30-point triple doubles, but they were coming in losses, and everybody was like, oh, well, just like good stats, bad team, or whatever. They weren't really saying that, but they weren't considering him in the MVP race because of like the record of Dallas. Well, everybody's kind of consensus has been Jokic is still the MVP if he plays enough games. I mean, similar though, right? Just putting up crazy numbers on a very mid team. We're going to look at like the West in general here in a little bit. But again, just like a really impressive win for Cleveland, who now moved to 20-3 with only one loss at home this season, 13-1. And I mean, like, I think it was a cute story when they started undefeated, right? And you're like, okay, let's wait till the playoffs. And you could still have that take, like, show me in the playoffs. But we are now, about at the quarter mark of the season, right? At more than that, right? Are we at the quarter mark? Yeah, basically the quarter mark of the season. And Cleveland has clearly looked like a legit contender. They really have. And it's not like what we saw that stretch of games that Cleveland went on last year where they ripped off a bunch of wins and it's like, well, congrats. You beat the Washington Wizards 5 times, right? Congrats. You look at this schedule for like, here's some notable wins for Cleveland this year. The Knicks, the Magic, the Bucks twice, Golden State, Philadelphia are good. They lost to Boston. Then they go out. They lost twice to Atlanta. Then they beat Boston, beat Denver. Like, they have been a legit team. And I think when you start sizing up like true contenders at this point in the NBA season, I think they have to be considered. I think they have to be considered like legit threats. Legit threats. So I don't know. I don't really like. Maybe part of it is that the Eastern Conference just doesn't seem super tough right now. And although the Knicks have kind of righted the ship a little bit, but Cleveland looks legit, man. And I think something that Kenny Atkinson doesn't get enough credit for is his ability to like shore up the bench. It seems like he presses the right buttons. And you saw Okoro go down, so Dean Wade had to play 19 minutes, and he was solid. LeVert, again, is a 20-point scorer off the bench if you need it. But he's like, oh, do we have Georges Niang tonight? No, we don't. But Sam Merrill's knocking down threes. I don't know. I think they're a pretty spicy team, at least at the quarter mark of the NBA season. Excited for Cleveland. Excited for Stubbs. I'm excited for Stubbs. We mentioned the Knicks. Let's just go to that game quickly because I talked about them starting to figure it out a little bit. You see, they're now 14-8. I believe at one point they were 7-7. I don't know if that's accurate, but 14-8, 8-2 at home. And I mean, they just pounced on Charlotte. Shout out Mark Williams now playing double-digit minutes. He's back, baby. He's back. Brandon Miller was absolutely tilting if you were doing any fantasy-related stuff last night because Brandon Miller did not play a single minute in the fourth quarter. Just devastating for my bags. On the Knicks side of things, though, man, Brunson got hurt. He left this game, but because of Thibodeau, even though he left early, he still had played 27 minutes. This team won by 24 points. All right. They're up 3 at halftime. They outscored them by 22 points in the third quarter. Yet somehow Mikal Bridges played 47 of 48 minutes. OG Anunoby played 40 minutes. Cat played 39. Hart played 38. Tibbs, take your foot off the gas, baby. OG Anunoby, another great game for him. I mean, I know Tesla's probably somewhere just popping some blue chew here as we talk about OG Anunoby. OG's been really good this year. Honestly, like I think he's been their second best player. Karl-Anthony Towns has been their offensive best player for sure. Brunson's had his moments, but OG Anunoby has been doing it on both ends of the court this entire season. He's been really, really good. He's stayed healthy so far, knock on wood. OG's been really, really good. And then Cat, again, man, 27 points, 16 rebounds. Like, just really good stuff from the Knicks, who are now, they're starting to turn into the team that we thought they were going to be, right? Oh, Billy Jackson in the chat. Let's go, Billy. But they're starting to turn into the formidable, tough team. Like, they're not really playing the defense that we would like to see from like a real title contender, but they have the single best offense in the association so far this season. So Knicks looking good. Let's actually look at their recent performances here, because maybe they're like the Milwaukee Bucks and there was a lot of schedule wins in here. So the last handful of wins, let's see. Ooh, I scrolled too far. They've ripped off 4 in a row. Charlotte, New Orleans, Orlando, Charlotte again. All right, so let's relax. They lost to Dallas. They did beat Denver, beat Phoenix. And then, okay, so a lot of these wins are coming against bad teams. So maybe we have to revisit. Let's look at their upcoming schedule here. They've got Minnesota. Wait, that's too far away. They've got Detroit, Toronto, Atlanta. So they could really string together some wins. And then it's Minnesota, New Orleans, Toronto, San Antonio, Orlando. Wow, Nick's little powder puff schedule here down the stretch. All right, Bing Bong boys. Maybe we're going to see them just continue to climb the mountain here. But good win for Nick. Nick for the Knicks. I said Nick because regulators said Nick Richard abused the Knicks in the first half. Size can hurt them. When is Mitchell back? Yeah, they need Mitchell back. They did get Precious. They got Precious back last night, so that was exciting. Did he actually get into the game? Let me box score hunt a little bit. He couldn't have played that much because all the starters played 45 minutes. Precious played 12 minutes, so that was good to see. And then Miles McBride played 28 minutes, and then everybody else played 1 minute because Tibbs is a maniac. All right, good win for the Knicks. Let's go over to Sacramento, Memphis, and we'll go over to segment 2 over here. Segment 2, what the ref? Ja Morant got tossed in this game. And it was like, listen, we talked about Ime Udoka getting tossed. You had Fred VanVleet doing some weird stuff recently. Steve Kerr got himself in some hot water. There was another fine. Mark Dagnall is the only one who has found a way to talk shit about the referees without doing it because he just goes up there and lists facts. Just says fact after fact, so you can't do it. You can't get in trouble for listing facts. Look at Boston Base out there gifting away 5-bit memberships. The GOAT, Boston Base. But last night, Ja Morant gets attacked. Like the whistle was definitely not favorable for Taylor Jenkins. And this has been in the Memphis Grizzlies. And I feel like this has been a constant theme for the Grizzlies. Like, I don't know if they just don't get any respect or if I don't get it. I don't really get it. But in this game, Ja Morant picks up an early tech. He was in some foul trouble. And then he plays really good defense on DeMar DeRozan. Like, really good defense. DeMar DeRozan misses a shot. They call a foul. And then Ja has what can only be described as a seizure. Let me see if I can actually find this clip. But just kind of loses his shit here for a second and just tweaks out. Let me see if I can find it on the old X.com. But just loses his mind for a hot minute. And then he gets a second technical and he gets tossed. And it just, all right, here we go. Shout out Sam Vecini of The Athletic. Sam with the quick post here. Let's do it. Let's look at this together here.
Question. Wow. And Taylor Jenkins is really hot.
So the triple point, triple threat, if you will. This is what got him tossed. We can't be doing this, guys. We can't be doing this. It's bad for business. Don't toss guys for stupid stuff like that. It's dumb. Like, sure, maybe he shouldn't have pointed, but like, come on. It was ridiculous. Somehow Memphis, this is how bad the beam lightings are going these days. Memphis still won this game. It didn't matter. 115-110 for the Grizzlies. They continue to stack wins here as they're 15-8 and 11-3 at home. Look at these numbers. Like, again, nobody did anything great for Memphis. The team scored 115 points. Like, look at these minutes. Desmond Bane, the only guy to play over 30 minutes for this team. He finished with 18 points, 8 boards, 7 dimes. Ja had 8 and 7. You had Jalen Wells got the start at the big man. He played 18 minutes. He got 10 points. Jaren Jackson Jr., subpar game from him, pretty quiet, 15 and 2. You got 4 minutes, 4 points for Brandon Clark. Eldama gave him 15. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys in double figures for this team. Memphis is just, they're starting to reap the benefits of that team being dog shit last year and all these young guys getting opportunities to grow a little bit. And now they have the ability to rely on different guys on a different, like Santi Aldama might be one of the more underrated guys in the league. I'm not saying Santi should make an all-star team, but I do feel like he's an underrated basketball player. Common man saying you can't see if he was saying anything. Yeah, maybe he was saying something crazy. I don't think so. I don't think he was. Throat slash was fine, but then highlighted an NBA top 10 plays. Yeah, I saw Jalen. Is that the Jaylen Brown one? Jaylen Brown, man, moving different this year. Regulators saying the Kings are cooked. Not sure what they can do other than trading Murray or firing Brown. I also don't think it is Mike Brown's fault. I'm not going to blame Mike Brown for this. This team is basically performing exactly how they were last year. You know, exactly how they were last year. Like, this is the team that I mean, like, I know they brought DeRozan in, but basically they were close to a play-in game last year. So I think I Sacramento, similarly to Atlanta, like 5 years ago, right? Or whenever that was when the Atlanta Hawks went to the Eastern Conference Finals. I feel like they gave us a false idea of what their ceiling was when they won all of those regular season games 2 years ago. And they were like the 2 or 3 seed before losing to the Warriors in 7. And they were like, oh, well, they lost to the Golden State Warriors, you know? Um, I'm kind of with Stan. I think Fox is leaving too. I forget who I was talking to about this the other day, where they were like, maybe Fox is just maybe on the '89 Cavs, that Fox was just using this as leverage a little bit, and that, like, maybe if he doesn't make All NBA, he can test the market, see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, just see if he can get some more dollars. But I don't know. I think I'm out. I think I'm out on this Kings run. Regular season, lots of injuries last season. The previous season, they were healthy and better. But if you remember the previous season, the Sacramento Kings had one of the healthiest seasons of all time. And you look at the rest of the West, and they were battling injuries that whole time. So I don't know. Trade Sabonis for Zion? No, you can't. You can't. You can't do that. I don't think anybody should be trading good players for Zion right now. And I love Zion, but my guy can't stay on the court. He can't stay on the court. But I do think so. We'll actually, let's just go to resizing the West. Let's cover the rest of basketball last night, and then we'll do resizing the West. Let's go to Golden State. Got a pretty impressive win last night against Houston. Golden State without Draymond, although the MRI for Draymond came back clean, which means he should be playing tonight. Steph Curry, who's got like some tendonitis or whatever, bilateral, whatever, he missed last night's game, but he's already been ruled in tonight as well. And somehow Golden State at home against a top-tier team in the West right now, the Houston Rockets, Golden State gets this win, and it's behind Mr. Kuminga. Kuminga dropped 33 points, 7 boards, and 2 dimes on a pretty efficient night. 50% from three-point land on 6 shots, 13 for 22 from the field goals, from the 2-pointers. So pretty good stuff from Mr. Kuminga. Wiggins had 23 and 9, and then a bunch of dudes got 8 or 6 points, right? Podgod had 8 and 11. You had Slow-Mo with 8. You had a bunch of dudes with 6. TJD, GP2, and Moses Moody, all with 6 points. That's a pretty impressive win for the Warriors. The Rockets were just kind of asleep at the wheel a little bit. Amin Thompson, really good performance from him off the bench, 14 and 8. Şengün, 16, 8 and 5. They just looked sleepy. It was a sleepy, and you kind of knew right at the beginning. That the Rockets didn't have it. And good win for Golden State. Good win for Golden State right there. Let's look at some of the other stuff here from last night. Luka Magic. We can do a drop. We can absolutely do a Luka Magic drop right now. Let's fire that up. Haven't done a Luka one in a bit. Here we go. Where is it? There it is. Luka Magic. Speaking of triple doubles, Luka with 21 points, 10 boards, 10 dimes. Kyrie had 25 and 4. I mean, Washington sucks. 2 and 18, 1 and 9. Let's actually look at when can Washington get their next win? Look at these L's. No one, I haven't seen an organization. Stack these many L's since NBA Top Shot. Look at this, man. Look at this. So their last win, they had back-to-back wins against the Atlanta Hawks, Wednesday, October 30th. Since Halloween, they've lost to the Heat, the Warriors, the Grizzlies, the Magic, the Rockets, the Spurs, the Hawks, the Pistons, the Knicks, the Celtics, the Pacers, the Bulls, the Clippers, the Bucks, the Cavs, and Dallas. 15 straight L's. Just absolutely brutal. And I don't know when their next one's coming. They've got Denver on Saturday, Memphis on Sunday, and then Cleveland and Boston. I guess Charlotte on December 19th. Is it December 19th when Charlotte comes cooking, right? We'll have to wait and see. Washington's dead. Yeah, and no West Coast trips either. Yeah, Washington Shout out Kyle Kuzma, the Kuz. Just gross stuff from this team. But good win for Dallas. They're starting to string it together now, too. Quickly on the Thunder and Raptors. I mean, the Thunder beat the piss out of them. 34-17 in the first quarter, and then they beat them by 8 again in the second, by 9 in the third, and then 3 in the fourth, winning all 3 quarters and winning by just 500. J-Dub and SGA combined for 50 points. Nothing to say about the Raptors. They were due to get their ass kicked. It had been a while. And then the Bulls Spurs, I'm not going to talk about. No Wemby. Bulls got an easy dub there. But Pellies and Suns, this one was kind of interesting. Brandon Ingram, shout out Willie Green, who's just a liar. Willie Green before the game said, oh yeah, great callback here to the Kuzma tweet. Great callback. Before the game, Willie Green said, "Hey, Brandon Ingram, not going to play more than 30 minutes on a minute restriction. He's on a minute restriction." Well, if you can see the box score, Mr. B.I. played 37 minutes, going for 29 points, 7 boards, 3 dimes. Herb Jones is back in action. He played 32 minutes. He was supposed to play less than 30 as well. He also had the defensive possession of the game. The Pels were up 2 with like 3 seconds left. Suns had an inbound, and Herb just dwarfs Devin Booker, doesn't allow him to get a good look. I think he blocked the shot. Herb looked good defensively. CJ gave him 25. DeJounte 17, 5 and 3. Pelly's finally got a win. They haven't won one in a while. They moved to 5 and 18. The Suns continue to be an awesome team when Kevin Durant plays, and a very mid sub 500 team when he doesn't. Booker and Beal were solid last night, but I mean, like, you know, Royce O'Neal, Mason Plumlee, and Tyus Jones are all really good bench pieces, and they made up 3 of their starting 5. Beal had 24, Booker had 28, and then you look, and the only Royce and Tyus both got into double digits. Grayson Allen actually 13 and 10 off the bench, pretty good performance from him. But then Okogie, Bol, Oso, Monty Morris, just all not going to get it done. And the Suns really, like, this has been the story of Phoenix for as long as we remember. You know, like they like, if they can stay healthy, they're going to be a really tough team, but they've yet to do it. And so they crawl closer to 500, or fall back closer to 500 again after a pretty hot start there. So I think that is right. Did we get all of the games from last night? Let's go over to the standings. And I just want to like poke around the West here. Let me switch the ticker here. I just want to poke around here on the Western Conference. We'll look at the East too, but I wanted to focus on the West here because I just think it's pretty interesting. And like everybody's kind of assumed that the West, I mean, the West is much better than the East, but it's all kind of like jammed together a little bit here. Is OKC 17 and 5. I think what's been really impressive about this OKC run is they've had J-Dub miss a couple of games. Chet, who I don't think we've gotten an update. Oh yeah, Boston Base asked about Chet. I don't think we've had an update on Chet Holmgren, but I think it was a 6 to 8 week injury. But the beauty of OKC being this deep and also being successful this early in the season, I don't think they need to like freak out about getting Chet back anytime soon. I know when he went down and Hartenstein went down, everybody was like, "Holy shit, we need to make a trade." And it was like, they probably don't. They probably don't at this point. Like, because they're just so deep. And again, like, look at their last 10, right? They're still 7 and 3 in their last 10. They're 9 and 2 at home, 17 and 5, clearly leading the way. But then this is where it gets like interesting. You've got 3 teams here at 15 and 8, and the Rockets and Grizzlies kind of surprising everybody a little bit, being as high up as they are. You see Dallas now, who everybody's like, "Oh, Dallas out to a slow start." They're winners of 6 in a row, 9 and 1 in their last 10. I think they have the longest winning streak in the league right now. So they move into third place here. And they're just like, Derek Lively has looked really good. Lively has looked really, really good here for them. PJ Washington, I'll get a PJ drop, but PJ Washington low-key has been playing really good basketball, and he seems to be the guy that if Kyrie misses a game or Luka misses a game, PJ seems to be the guy that steps up.
PJ Washington. PJ Washington. PJ Washington.
Beautiful video. But like, again, I think it's just pretty surprising to see these be the teams here. I mean, Dallas isn't too surprising. I think we kind of assumed they'd be a top 4 team, top 5 team. Memphis was like my hot take that they were going to be a top 4 team this year. So I'm happy that they're there. But then it's like Golden State and the Clippers. And if you said at the beginning of the season, the Rockets, the Grizzlies, the Warriors, and the Clippers were going to be top 6, I would tell you were on drugs. And I mean, the Clippers are 14-10, man. The Clippers are and they're doing it like, I know they got the absolute pants beaten off of them the other night against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who seem to be kind of turning the corner a little bit here. The defense is like ramped up for Minnesota, but for the Clippers to be in a top 6 team, and then you got like the Suns, the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Timberwolves, the Kings, and the Pels have all been like wildly disappointing here. Spurs at 11 and 11, still 500. I saw regulators comment that you still think they're going to make the play-in. I mean, the Lakers are 2 games over 500 right now, but if you had to look at these top 10, right, because if you want the Spurs to get in, you need at least one team to fall out. The Lakers seem to be an absolute mess right now. Just an absolute mess. This is probably I think we're about to see like a real downswing here. If you look at like, let's go dive into the Lakers schedule here for a little bit and like what some of their early season wins look like and what they have coming in front of them here. So like early on, right, they got that win against Minnesota and Phoenix. Minnesota off to a slow start. Phoenix was a good win. Kings has shown not to be like a good win. Then they went on the road, lost to Phoenix, lost to Cleveland, got one at Toronto, lost to Detroit, lost to Memphis, and then their wins. Look at this. So Philadelphia, Toronto, whatever. The Memphis win, I believe there was no Ja Morant, no Desmond Bane, no, like they were so shorthanded. They got the win against the Spurs, the Pelicans, Utah, dropped games to Orlando, Denver, Phoenix, then got another Spurs win, lost to OKC, beat Utah, lost to Minnesota and Miami. So like, look at this upcoming schedule. So Atlanta, who you want to bet some overs tonight? You want to bet some overs? Atlanta dimes. I mean, Trae Young assists, Jalen Johnson, PRA. Atlanta is, and like LeBron is questionable tonight. My guess is he's not going to play. Austin Reeves has already been ruled out. They just can't play defense. They can't defend right now. I mean, every clip that goes around on the internet is just absolutely smoked. We had a question in the chat. Why are there no European coaches in the NBA? Maybe they're afraid that Euro coaches are crazy and can shout at the stars. Yet maybe. That is a good point that we have all these European players, but not European coaches. I do think where's Darko from? Where's Darko, the Raptors coach from? Isn't he from a Balkan nation? And then I think we do have a lot of assistants from Europe, though, right? They have the sad passing of, I believe, the Bosnian coach, assistant coach for the Warriors. Was that last season or 2 seasons ago? That's a fun bit to look up, though. But anyways, like you're looking at the Lakers upcoming run, man. I think they could be in some trouble here if this is how they're going to defend. And also, like, listen, I know it's like fun to make fun of JJ Redick being the head coach. This is not a JJ thing. This is not a JJ thing. They've had 3 coaches in the last 4 years, and they have had the same issue every single season since, right? They don't defend, and they rely on super streaky shooting. And like LeBron was coming off one of the best 3-point performances of his career last season, and now it's just coming back to the average, right? So way below average, excuse me. So I think the Lakers are going to be in real trouble. So if you were saying like, I think the Spurs make the play-in, I think you're saying that the Lakers end up falling out. I think the Clippers, like, I don't expect the Clippers to be in the top 6, but I also don't expect them to completely fall out of it because the Kings, man, they look bad. 3-7 in their last 10. I don't see like the Kings catching them, but and the Pelicans, I don't know what to do. So that's the West. Let's poke at the East here for a second. You see the Cavs 20-3, Celtics are 18-4, Magic right there at 16-8. I think Paolo's getting closer to coming back. I think he's supposed to be back around Christmas. So the fact that the Magic 8-2 in their last 10, still just like undefeated at home without Paolo as long as they've been without him. And then you get the Bing Bong Boys at 14-8. There we go, 8-2 in their last 10. The Bucks now 8-2 in their last 10. Big game against the Celtics tonight. And then Atlanta, a game over 500. He'd have been super disappointing. Hopefully with this is a great comment. Wait till Christian Wood gets back. I think Yeah, I think Miami, if Jimmy can stay on the court, they're a little bit more exciting. But like, when's the last time Jimmy's played like 3 consecutive games? Bulls 10-13. I mean, the rest of this East is tough. The Pacers are a real shit show. That is like the real surprise. I didn't expect them to be awesome, but they've been bad, man. They've been bad. The Pacers we knew weren't going to defend, but they can't even do offense right now. They can't do offense. And Hallie's been playing a little bit better the last couple games. Tough stuff. And then you got the Pistons at 9-15, the Raptors, Hornets, Sixers at 5-15, and then the Wizards. We for tonight's action here, only a handful of games. No, this isn't a cup game. Our first Friday in a while with no NBA Cup action. The semifinals, the quarterfinals will be next Tuesday and Wednesday. And then, of course, if you're going to be in Las Vegas for the semifinals, I'll be out there Saturday the 14th to Wednesday. Well, Tuesday, really, because I'm going to fly out early on Wednesday morning. But I'm going to be out there. I think Skeets is going to be out there. No Dunks legend, J.E. Skeets will be out there with his buddy, your buddy, our buddy, Grish will be out there as well. So if you're going to be out in Vegas at all for any of this, make sure to hit me up. SORARE, I think we're going to put together a little SORARE NBA meetup at some point over the weekend. Grab some drinks, so we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. So come hang out. All right. The last conversation I wanted to do today before we got into some. Oh wait, hold on. I said we were gonna go over the games. My bad. So we have Magic and Sixers. I feel like they've played each other 45 times already this season. Lakers at Hawks. LeBron's questionable. Embiid, by the way, already ruled out for this game, but Paul George is in. Bucks and Celtics. Here we go. Here's some put on the tinfoil hat here for Bucks and Celtics. I think Tatum is going to play. Porzingis is going to play. They both have questionable tags. I don't think LeBron plays tonight for the Lakers. Then you got Indiana against Chicago Bulls. That's got a total of 3,000. Sacramento on a back-to-back against the Spurs on a back-to-back. It does sound like when Wembanyama is going to make his return tonight. That's my hot take. Minnesota Golden State. We got Steph and Draymond back in this one. And then Utah and Portland, which I know is the game everybody is staying awake for. All right, let's do some first-time All-Stars. I want to know what put it in the chat. Who do you think is going to be a first-time All-Star this year? I was trying to think. I think it's hard because you have so many guys that are going to get voted in automatically because of that. But I think Wemby will probably get voted in this year. Wembanyama was my one. I got 3 on a list right now, but I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Wemby was my number 1. And then the 2 and 3, J-Dub, and then Franz Wagner. I think those are the 3 that have the best shot at being first-time All-Stars. Stan, I don't think he's going to make it, but I will play the drop for you though, Stan, because I respect the take. Keith said PJ Washington. Keith, if Kyrie missed a month or Luka missed a month, he honestly might. Maybe Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller would have a shot just because the East is dog doo outside of a handful of guys. But yeah, I think Franz has probably the best shot outside of Wemby. I think J-Dub, it's going to be a little bit trickier because when you look at the Western Conference, right? Let's try to figure this out right now. Unfortunately, LeBron and AD probably, AD probably should be there, but they both get voted in, I would imagine, right? So LeBron, Anthony Davis, Steph Curry's going to get voted in. We've got Luka Magic. That's 4 already. SGA is 5. That gives us 5 guys already. 5 guys. Let's look at some other teams over here. Let's see. The Suns, I'm sure Booker, right? Booker gets in there. Jokic, obviously. Ant-Man, right? So now we're already up to 8 dudes already. Actually, this is making me feel a little bit better. Şengün might get in there. Şengün is another one. We actually should put him on the list as a first-time All-Star. Who am I missing? Maybe he's got a better shot than I thought he did. Well, hold on. SGA, Luka, Steph, Booker, Jokic, LeBron, AD, and all right. I actually think J-Dub's getting in now. Am I missing wild guys here? Kyrie probably gets in there. Ja Morant maybe gets voted in. Harden maybe gets voted in. Harden's numbers have been excellent. I think J-Dub's getting in. I'm playing the flag now. Also, you've got to give it to two OKC guys if they're clearly the best team, right? So I like that. All right, let's get J-Dub and then Wemby in there. I think that'll be more fun. And then on the East, right, we were talking about Franz. If we look at the Eastern Conference, I think Tatum and Jaylen Brown are definitely going to get in there. Donovan Mitchell for sure. And then maybe one of the bigs from Cleveland. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Giannis and Dame. What about Jalen Johnson? Do we think Jalen Johnson could get in this season? Well, hold on. Let's stay with the 7 here. Nobody from the Bulls, nobody from the Nets. Cade Cunningham, maybe Cade Cunningham, first-time All-Star. Sixers, I don't know. Maxey hasn't really been doing it this year. Wait, we might have forgotten some dudes here. You think Trey gets in before Jalen? I actually don't, because people don't vote for Trey Young. And let's look at, let me go to StatMuse. Let's go to StatMuse here for a second, and let's look at Trey Young's stats this season. And then we'll look at Jalen Johnson. So people won't vote for Trey Young. That's happened multiple times already. So if we and you know what, maybe we go back to the Tyler Hero number for sure. Yeah, but Hero's number is better than Stan. I don't even disagree with you, but I just know how this stuff works, right? So Trey's averaging 20, 12, and 4 rebounds in 22 games this season. He's slowed down a little bit in the last couple of games. Now let's do Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson this season, averaging 29 and 5, almost 6 dimes. How many steals and blocks? 1 steal and 1 block a game. I kind of like this Jalen Johnson take a little bit. How many guys make the All-Star team? 12. And then let's look at Tyler Heroes just for our guy, Stan. Let's look at Tyler Hero. I need a hero. Tyler Hero, 24, 5, and 5. All right. That's kind of fun. Jalen Johnson, more likely for most improved player. I mean, Jalen Johnson and Jalen Williams have both been just awesome this year. Jalen Johnson, I don't know how many of you guys watched that Milwaukee Bucks Hawks game, but in the fourth quarter, Jalen Johnson had just like a monster throwdown. Players who were on the All-Star team last year who won't make it this year: Scotty Barnes, Paolo, Embiid, Paul George, Kawhi. Yeah, Barnes would make it. Barnes has been great since he's come back too. I know last night was an aberration because they just got absolutely smoked. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it though. Fun combo. Let's go over to the dog app for a little bit. I know we didn't do the show yesterday. No NBA bit yesterday, but we had a big old performance on the Underdog app the other night. We had a fun one here as we go to look at the results. And if you see this, baby, first place performance here from this lineup here. This was in the crossover event, the $30 5 max entry. We had our guy Giannis go for 50. This was a weird one because so many guys failed. Giannis go for 50. That Cade and Jalen Johnson combo, 55 and 52. Miles Turner for 34. Derek White for 47. And McCain, 32. But the big run here was, you could see over in the main contest, we had a tied for second place lineup. Same thing this time: Giannis, Jaylen Brown, and Jalen Johnson, with Derek White, Rudy, and Tobias Harris was the key. But we also had a lineup get into 17th place with Giannis, JB, Cade. This one had Randall and Rudy. What was so wild about this run that night was that Minnesota, Rudy and Randall were incredible in the first half, but because they just beat the hell out of the Clippers, Minnesota didn't really play their guys the second half. But that was a fun run the other night. Last night was the absolute opposite. We got smoke show. But let's go find a pick 'em for tonight. Let's go find a pick 'em. We hit a couple of our takes. Yeah. Oh no, we didn't do the show yesterday. We had a couple hit yesterday with Mikal Bridges and who was the other one? Mikal and I'm blanking on who the other guy was with assists. Let's see if we have any. I don't think we have any posts yet for today that we can sweat. But do you guys have any hot takes for today? Is anybody locked in already? Stuff they want to see? Wait, no, rookies are eligible for All-Stars. Rookies are eligible for All-Stars, but I don't think Halliburton would only get in if he gets voted in. His numbers have been like pretty bad. Honestly, the Pacers should not have an All-Star right now. They've been pretty bad. But rookies are eligible. But nobody. I don't think we'll see a rookie get in. All right, let's look at some of these here. I think figuring out the Chicago-Indiana game is fun because of how insane these totals are here. So if we look at the Bulls, we got Hallie at 19.5, 9.5 dimes. This game's at Chicago. I feel like I would just take the over on the points on that. Levine, 22.5. It is a little bit tricky because we don't have the Kobe White numbers yet. We don't have, like, if he's playing. Although they did list it. I wonder if I don't know. Io was incredible last night, by the way. I don't know how many people watched any of that game, but Io was insane. All right, you like the Giannis assist? All right, let's just do a game stack of Celtics and Bucks, huh? Celtics and Bucks. I don't know how. Yeah, do they have Tatum numbers? Giannis assists right now 5.5. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I also like I feel like Tatum over points, rebounds, and assists is pretty good here. I just feel like I kind of want to just do rebounds and assists, actually. Does Porzingis have a line? How many threes? 1.5 threes? I think Porzingis is going to make 3 threes. How about that? That feels like an easy one. Porzingis for 3 threes? Like, come on. Porzingis is playing. I don't know. I don't care what anybody says. Porzingis is for sure playing. Let's find one more. Let's just do a 3-leg tonight. Porzingis, 1.5 threes. I mean, excuse me, higher than 2.5 threes. Then we've got, what did we say the other one was? Giannis over assists here. Do likes matter anymore? Yeah, like the stream. Like the stream. Let's find one more. It doesn't have to be from that game either. We can find anyone here. Franz should have, I think Franz. What if Franz is going to score 30 tonight, right? Against Philly, like Maxey and McCain are going to be guarding him. Or no, I guess not Maxey and McCain. He'd probably get some Paul George assignment. Let's see. Anybody else? I'm sorry. I'm scrolling on my phone right now just because it's easier to see this. I would love. Oh, Atlanta, LA. Let's just do over 20. Let's see what Jalen Johnson is. Let's just do over Jalen. Jalen Johnson points. Jalen Johnson points. Trae Young 11.5 assists. Let's do. All right. You know what? We're doing a 5-leg. We're doing a 5-leg. Talked myself into it here. Let's see. One more. Let's find one more. Sacramento, San Antonio. What's Wemby's? Wemby. Oh, Wemby doesn't have a line. Vooch, 21.5 points. There we go. That's it. Vooch over 21.5. That's fun. That's fun. All right. So Porzingis, higher than 2.5 threes. Giannis, higher than 5.5 assists. Jalen Johnson, higher than 20 points. Vooch, higher than 21.5 points. Trae Young, higher than 11.5 dimes. There we go. 28x. 28x. You know what I'll do? I'll actually share the link into the chat, even though I can't really do it because it won't let me do it on my computer. But what I will do, let's see if it allows me to do this, and then we'll put it into the chat here. Let's see. This is a winner. What the hell? Oh, I didn't do it right. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I think Milwaukee keeps it close. Milwaukee's been playing pretty good lately here. I know they haven't beaten a ton of good teams, and I know they lost to Atlanta this most recent game, but I still think they show up for the Celtics games. And they're not on a back-to-back, right? All right, just drop the link into the chat. There we go. I love the Porzingis 3.5 threes, boosting it up to 2.5 threes. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. All right. Do you guys have anything else? Just a reminder over on SORARE. I don't know if you guys saw that. I said it at the top of the show, but they have a pretty sweet deal going on. If you buy one of those, if you go to like the holiday thing, the special they're doing, if you buy a limited on like their instant buy, you get either like a raffle ticket or you have a shot at winning a free card. I'll show you. Actually, we did some Christmas shopping over on SORARE, but we bought some stuff. Let's go over to it. Let's share screen this way. Ooh, shoot, wrong thing. Let's share screen. Wow, we moved the KP3s already. We moved mountains. NBA bit pays to watch the NBA bit. Wow, that's crazy. I wonder. Keep an eye on it though. I bet that could come back unless a bunch of you just bet on it right away, and maybe that's why. But anyways, we did some Christmas shopping. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this bad boy, huh? Look at this. But I bought a Mičić, and then I got a Hartenstein. I got a Hartenstein with it. So that was fun. That was fun. So yeah, go check out the SORARE promo. Reminder, we got Live Before Lock tonight. We'll be back at 5 p.m. Eastern. For you VIP members, we'll have a daily show a little bit later this afternoon. I might do it like I did before, where it's I might like try to wait till 4 and then do like a pregame almost of it. We'll do Live Before Lock from 5 to 7, and then we have Live After Dark right after that. KP's off the board. I bet it comes back. It'll come back. They're probably updating some stuff. Whenever lines get moved, they take it off, and then either that or he just got ruled out. Let me see if he was at shoot around or something. Let me see if there's any Underdog NBA update. No update yet. But anyways, that's what we got going on the rest of this afternoon. If you missed the 89 Cavs, we did that on Wednesday night. Go check that out, and I'll share a link to the Raptors Republic Buckets and Tea episode that I jumped on last night. That should be out a little bit later today, I think. But that's going to do it for the NBA bit. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you guys a little bit later tonight. We outie.